What's up, guys? Welcome to this week's podcast with your boys Dustin and Devin. Devin, how you doing?
I was doing decent until this weekend.
Yeah, it's been a tough
I'm
weekend for
pretty
us.
sure you're on the same boat here.
It's been a very tough weekend for us. Um, we both lost.
Oh,
Both of
I
our
will
Super
say
Bowl
though.
predictions are over.
Oh yeah, I had Bucks Titans. Oh
I
my
had
god,
Titans
could you imagine
Packers,
that game? Yeah, of course.
and how'd that go?
Yeah, but I will say though, like I said before, this even though the Bucks lost, and I'm not gonna lie, it hurt me when the Titans lost. Um, I'm just glad that they were all super good games. And I don't know how the hell the Bills lost. I don't understand that. I don't know how they blew that. Then again, the overtime rules I think need some adjusting.
Um, I'll get into my personal thoughts when we talk about the Titans game. I'm still very hurt. I actually we'll talk about when we get to the Titans game. So today we decided we're gonna combine them. We're gonna talk about the divisional games. We're gonna talk about them in this episode, and then we're gonna talk about the conference games as well, and give our predictions and all that. We'll talk about both those in today's podcast. Then we have, and then for the videos for the rest of the week, really for the rest of the year, the individual videos, we're gonna start slowly getting into off-season mode. We're gonna drop a quarterback video this week, talking about if quarterbacks we could possibly being seen traded and where they're most likely fit or whatever. We'll see something like that. Yeah, and just let us know what you guys want to see. We do have a couple ideas, like an off-season series. We'll go ahead and spoil that a little bit. Off-season series for each team. We think that'd be pretty cool. Obviously, we want to get into mock drafts. I've been starting to build a couple, seeing what's interesting so far. So we'll start getting those out slowly as well. Make sure you guys check all of the socials in the description down below. Check out our TikTok, our Instagram, all that fun stuff. And yeah, let's get into it. Let's go ahead and cover the divisional, shall we?
Alrighty. Yeah. Did you want to start with Did you want to start with the first game?
Yeah, I'll
Since
start.
rightfully it's your team. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'll go into some detail. I gotta be honest, man. It still hurts. As someone that we know that I've been a fan since 2008. I've been through the down years, Jake Locker, all that stuff. I've been through the uprising, with Mariota, DeMarco Murray, Delaney Walker. You see 9 and 7 seasons, and then Vrabel comes in, and then he makes the Tannehill move, and you're like, okay, you see Tannehill, and the team goes to AFC Championship game, and then next year we win our division, then we lose in the wild card round, and this year we are the first seed. I really expected the team to have a little bit more energy to start the game. Let me rephrase that. I expected the offense to have a little bit more energy to start the game because the defense had energy every point of the game.
I mean, they had energy. They just had the wrong energy.
I mean, literally,
At least Tannehill did.
If the defense could give 25% of their energy and give it to the offense, we win that game. No, let me take that back. If everyone gave 1% of their energy to Tannehill, we win that game. That's the most disappointing part to me. The Titans lost this game. The Titans quarterback had his worst performance as his Titans career, I personally believe, in the biggest time, in a game that he needed to play because Derrick Henry obviously wasn't, I think he was healthy. I don't think he was hurt. I think he felt good, but I think he just didn't have the jolt back because he hasn't been playing for so long, which is reasonable.
Real quick.
Yeah.
On that note, I remember. This was me personally. I think that Derrick Henry should have played that last game of the season against the Texans personally.
Yeah.
So that they can get him back in that flow. Give him another week. And then go into the game. I think that might have done y'all a little bit more better, or Derrick Henry would have maybe played a little bit better.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because because you are walking into the divisional round as your first game back. I mean, the game's obviously going to be a lot tougher than the wild card round because, wild card round, usually it's, all the team, those 7th and 6th round, not 7th and 6th, 7th and 6th seeders that, most of the time are just kind of there, except for the Niners, obviously, who are now in the NFC Championship game. But, like the Raiders, they earned their spot. But let's be real. No, I mean, I thought they were going to move on, but they didn't. The Bengals were just too much for them. And the Steelers as well. I mean, we knew that wasn't going to get really anywhere. So I think it would have done them a lot of justice if they would have started him that week against the Texans.
Yeah.
Then give him another week.
I don't know.
He gets a week off anyway, so.
There was reports that he was not 100%. Like, they were going to let him go if he was 100%, and there was reports that he wasn't. That he was close, like they felt like they could have, but they also didn't want him to travel because traveling increases swellingness, like air in the air,
Oh, yeah.
So I did hear that. I saw some of that. I was interested in him playing, but if he was 100%, I wasn't, too worried about it. And I expected him to have a better game. I did. I expected him to have 100 yards, but I also expected the offense to not be so flat at the beginning. Really, I don't even know why I say offense. It's really Tannehill. I mean, This game was so on him, and I think that's the part that hurts the most as a Titans fan. It's like, we know Tannehill's not elite, but we thought Tannehill was going to be good enough. For the past 2 seasons before this year, he was good enough to where he wasn't hurting us. He was giving us some benefit, and he was not hurting us as a team. He was throwing touchdowns. He was not turning the ball over. He was being super accurate as well. Perfect. This year, you saw more turnovers, like specifically fumbles, also more interceptions, and not as much touchdowns. And, you go back to it, and you're like, okay, well, especially during the beginning of the season, he has a new offensive coordinator. He has a new second wide receiver number 2, and his receivers were hurt. Let's think about the Colts game. They both get hurt. He still goes and wins that game with 3 turnovers. The Jets game, they both don't play. We lose that game. But it's really the team was just sloppy overall. We've seen the game, like there was, and even down the stretch after that 5-game winning streak, there's games they don't play, and you see that. And then going into the playoffs, you're like, okay, well, we don't think that's going to... Well, the Texans game, he throws 4 touchdowns, has a great game. Literally his best game of the year. His weapons are healthy. The team is healthy. The offensive line looks good. And you're like, okay, the offense is coming together at the perfect time. And that's why I felt so confident about him going into the game. Now, when you go back and look at it, he reverts to his old self. There's Jesse Bates said in the post-game interview that he stared down Julio Jones the whole time. Didn't even look anywhere else. Didn't come off the route. Jesse Bates just came in. Boom. Why? Did you really think it's going to be wide? Did you really think that Julio Jones was going to be wide open on the first play of the playoffs? Come on. No chance. No chance. 0 chance. So, he was bad fundamentally. He was bad processing the field. He was not very... There was multiple times when A.J. Brown was wide open down the field. He wasn't accurate at times. He also obviously had that wonderful deep ball to A.J. for the touchdown that A.J. caught one-handed. Amazing. It was perfectly in the right where it needed to be. But that was his only, good throw of the day. The other throws are expected. Let's not forget he's an NFL quarterback. People are like, oh, that's a good throw. That's an expected throw. That one, corner end zone to A.J. Brown, good throw. Those other throws he made, expected. All those deep throws he missed, he needs to be hitting those. There's no reason for it. You are in the prime... The playoffs... Anything I learned from this week was the playoffs is when you need your best players to play their best. And that includes your quarterback, even if he's not one of your best players. You know what I mean? It has to be your quarterback. And he did not play well. He hurt the team by himself. He hurt a great performance by A.J. Brown, one of the best performances by Julio Jones of the season. And by the way, people hating on Julio Jones, saying Julio Jones did not actually play that good or Julio Jones was not worth it. We traded for Julio to be a second wide receiver too. He was not coming to take over AJ Brown's wide receiver one. Let's not forget that. Let's also not forget that we are a run first team. Okay, so let's not like what do you have? 6 catches for 67 yards, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Good game, Julio. You did your part. As a Titans fan, you did your part. That trade for me was that type of. Those are the games that we traded you for. Come to the playoffs, get your catches, do what you have to do. He did his part. AJ Brown did his part. The offensive line gives up 1 sack. Offensive line. And by the way, that 1 sack was on the running back blocked the wrong gap. Offensive line, you did your part. You did your part. Defense, you damn sure did your part. You damn sure did your part. Anyone that wants to come at a Titan secondary, you go ahead. Titan secondary, you did what you had to do. You're not, but let's not even talk about, they're missing, their first round pick from last year was a corner, out. He's out for the year. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Titans were playing zone. They're not playing man-to-man coverage. They're playing zone. The pass rush got there. They did well in the running game. They gave up a couple plays, but you're going to against the Bengals. You're going to against the Bengals. That's a high-power offense. You're going to give up plays. You gave up a world-class defensive performance because 3 turnovers by 1 player. Just terrible.
The biggest play, if I remember correctly, that the Bengals had was that screen to Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
I mean, it was such a simple play, but like you were saying, like
80 yards. I think
everybody. Oh yeah, it was fucking something crazy. Like I was shocked that he even ran that far.
And it was a missed tackle. It was a 1 missed tackle.
Oh yeah.
It's not like we were just all over the place. Defense played a good game. If you tell me, by the way, before the game, I literally sitting right next to my dad and I tell him, if we get 3 sacks, we win the game. He's like, you said 3 sacks? I was like, yeah. By the end of their second drive, we had 3. And I looked at him and I said, well, we'll win this game. Don't worry. That's what I truthfully said. And that's all that can be said. We did what we had to do. Defensively. But
right.
It's not, and it hurts that it was by 1 player. 1 player.
And that just shows you how important that quarterback position is. Yep. Because I was even boasting about you guys' defense. I was like, yeah, this defense is, I think, one of the best defenses in the league right now, especially walking into the playoffs. I was like, you guys have one of the best defenses easily.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm a big believer in offensive line, defensive line can carry you in playoff games. If you give any quarterback protection, they're going to eventually be able to make plays. If a defensive line can cause havoc, they're going to make plays. They're going to help the defense. Both of them played good. They both played good. I literally sat there and I said, I personally feel like every single player on the field for the Tennessee Titans played well. Except
for the quarterback.
And we lost the game. If you think about it, one pick changes the game. Like, just one. If you take away 1 pick, we probably win that game. We probably win the game.
Yeah, that screen pick. That was in the red zone, if I remember correctly.
The second one was in the red zone. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I thought y'all were gonna score. Y'all had so much momentum going in.
Yeah. I mean, let's think about it. The first interception, first play of the game, they get a field goal off of it.
Horrendous. Yeah.
They get a field goal off of it. Which, good job on the defense. They can't do anything. What do you expect? But you take away 3 points, that game's a tie game. Right?
You guys only allowed 1 touchdown, too, I think.
We only allowed one touchdown the whole game. And it wasn't Joe Burrow.
Yeah. No,
okay. Second pick. That one was... All 3 picks led to field goals. Defense, great job. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Man... At what point, man, do you... It's so frustrating. If you look at the stats... You guys are
stuck with a big contract, too.
If you were to look at the stats, you sit there and you're like, Tennessee won. They sacked Joe Burrow 9 times. Joe Burrow didn't have a passing touchdown. The Titans scored 2 touchdowns. The Bengals scored 1 touchdown. Titans still lost. Now, people are going after Mike Vrabel, which I hate, with, he went for 2 instead of going for 1. Okay, but he was on the 1-yard line with Derrick Henry in the backfield.
Right, that's like saying, that's like saying if they ran Marshawn Lynch in that one Super Bowl.
Yeah, It's like you have Derrick Henry. You have Derrick Henry at the 1 yard line with a physical offensive line, and the only reason he didn't get it was because he got tripped from the behind by a great athletic play. Fine.
And it was close too. That was
close.
That was a fucking close.
Yeah, he was really close. So what are you gonna do? Yell at him? Oh, but if he kicks the field goal, the Titans. If Tannehill doesn't throw 3 picks, Titans don't lose either.
Yeah, no. I feel like that can't be. You can't sit there and point the finger at Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel, when literally the person who's supposed to be like, the coach can control the game to a certain extent, but when it comes to snapping the ball and what happens to that ball, that's all the quarterback's fault.
And
he
and what about that 3rd and 1? That 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 back to back. Tennessee doesn't get on 3rd and 1. I think it's a great play call because as a Titans fan, I've seen the Titans run read option multiple times and it works. But when Derrick Henry's not there, when Derrick Henry now comes back, they've seen a lot of Tannehill takes the ball, so they committed to Tannehill taking the ball. If Tannehill hands the ball off, Derrick Henry probably goes for 40-yard touchdown because it was a 52-yard field goal from that spot. But he was like, "No, we're going for it. 3rd and 1, 4th and 1." On 4th and 1, it was a 52-yard field goal. If he hands off to Derrick Henry, there was no one there. He had it. He could have went all the way. It could have been a touchdown.
Wait, which play were we thinking about? Wait, wasn't there a play where Tannehill ran instead of handing it off to Derrick Henry?
Yeah, that's the play I'm talking about. It was the 3rd and 1. He takes it himself when everyone commits to the outside, and Derrick Henry has a free open lane. He gets a first down. At least a first down.
I lost it. I lost it when I saw it. I was like, why in the flying hell did you think that you can sit there and get past any of these lines?
It's worked. It's worked, but it's like he didn't read the defense. The defense was committing to him. It wasn't even committed to Derrick Henry. They committed to Tannehill.
I remember saying this, like, even when the moment I saw this, I was like, if they would have handed it to Derrick Henry, easy first down.
Yeah, easy first down, at least.
Yeah, exactly. The defense just had too much time to read him.
Yeah.
Way too much time to read him.
On 4th and 1, the offensive line got blown up. Although there was a first down gap on the far left, and it was not on the right side, and it was because one linebacker just flew right through. So back-to-back plays, yeah, people would say, "Oh, that can make a difference." Sure. Still should have got it. Tannehill should have got the first down on 3rd and 1. Should have gave it to Derrick Henry. Should have been first down.
I agree.
All right, we lost the rep on 4th down. Fine, but it should have been a first down on 3rd down anyway. Like, Vrabel put his team and gave his team multiple chances to win the game. He trusted his team, which he should have. I agree. I think that you trust your players to make plays. You trust your big-time players to make big-time plays in big-time games. And that's a big-time game that he gave multiple chances to his team and just couldn't do it. Tannehill hurts him. And now, as a Titans fan, I think there's possible changes, but we're not going to get too much into that. We're talking about the games. Yeah, it's crazy. Sorry, we committed way too much time to one shitty game. The shittiest game of the week. Great game. Shittiest game of the week.
I think it was more entertaining than this next game.
Well, I guess
I'm not gonna lie.
That's true. You got
the 49ers Packers game. Like,
Let's
God,
go ahead.
Like, man, you think it's bad to be a Titans fan? If you think it's bad to be a Bills fan, or even if you think it's bad to be a Bucks fan this week, to be a Packers fan right now, I guarantee you this game probably hurt more than any other game as a fan. Just because of the simple fact that not only was like this the year that it seemed like Rodgers and that team was supposed to finally get to the Super Bowl, but they underdelivered big time. They have a game at home against a team they already played and beat, and they lose to them because of their special teams. And not just that, you know what? A lot of people haven't said much about this. Well, very few people have, at least. Rodgers did not produce as well as he should have this game. And I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was looking at Rodgers. Just kind of facial expression. He looked pretty calm, just focused, ready to play the game. And as the game went throughout, it just seemed like he had the same expression. So I was wondering if it was really a calm demeanor, or if he's just like, I don't give a fuck anymore. Like it was so hard to see that if he like really cared. in my opinion. I'm not gonna sit there and say that he didn't care, but I just feel like he's just so like over being with Green Bay, going to these games and just losing them. I mean, I don't know. This was, and honestly, like Jimmy G, Jimmy G didn't really do that much either. Like Jimmy G, literally, all he's done these playoffs is literally manage the game. They've been successful purely based off of the run game. That's literally the main reason why they're successful. Jimmy G has to toss it every once in a while, but that's no big deal for him.
I mean, the only thing I agree with everything you said except for one thing. Mm-hmm. I think I don't know why people are overreacting, saying that Rodgers is 100% gone. Like we sold this game. In my personal opinion, I think Rodgers sold the game.
You think Rodgers sold the game?
I mean, you're the MVP of the league. Your defense held the other team to 3 points. Well, I'll say 3 points. Then your special teams gives up something, fine. But your special teams was pinned because your ass couldn't move the ball 10 yards as the MVP of the league. And by the way, they were double teaming. They were literally bracketing. They all out committed to Devontae Adams. And your other weapons, you couldn't get anything going with your other weapons. You also drove down the field. You got one play, 80 yards from your running back, like an 80-yard reception. That one where you just went down the end zone. And then you get no more yards at that and you kick a field goal. It somehow gets blocked. Like, listen, it's the playoffs. Things are going to happen. They're going to make plays. How do you not give yourself more opportunities to score? It's 10-10. You got to go score. They just blocked you a punt. You come out, you go 3 and out again. Like, you cannot seriously expect your defense to make plays after plays after plays like that consistently. Defense, great game. All right, special teams, you guys weren't great. But, I mean, offensively, you're going to score 10 points with the MVP of the league? The best receiver in football? Lie.
Like, I do think that Rodgers does take blame for part of this. I would say maybe, like, 25 to 30%. I think when it comes down to it, it's mainly the special teams.
I mean, yes, don't get me wrong.
I think that block punt was so huge. I think that was the turning point of the game, and the moment I saw that, I was like, the 49ers can win this game. Win this game. I had the Packers still winning because I was like, the Packers' offense is still better at the end of the day.
Yeah, but the Packers... There's no reason why they shouldn't have scored. But the Packers scored on the first possession and didn't score until the fourth quarter after that. And it was only a field goal. No more touchdowns after that. What? You're the MVP of the league. You cannot score 10 points in a playoff game and expect to win.
Yeah,
no matter what happens. Look at these other games. Look at these other games. Shit, even look at this game. You cannot score 10 points and win the game. You cannot seriously expect that if you're the quarterback. You seriously cannot, right? This is the top of the NFC. Well, this is what you're really competing with realistically, right?
Right.
Like, they scored 30. Are you... Is that 30? This is what you're going to be in the Super Bowl. Is that 30? I mean, is this 30? Is this 40 even? You seriously cannot expect to score 10 points and sit there and say, man, I blame on the special teams. Yeah, special teams play a part, but you have to score more than fucking... I mean, even when your defense picked off Garoppolo, they forced Garoppolo to fumble. Nothing. I mean, I'm seriously I want to check now. Let's see. How many turnovers? So, Garoppolo had a pick. They also
they lost. They had 2 fumbles, 1 lost.
So the
Packers did.
Yeah. I mean, look at this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
You can't do that.
This was such a once, and that's what me personally I was waiting for. I was waiting for, like, okay, Aaron Rodgers is throwing to Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams. I was like, when is he gonna throw it to the other receivers that he has connections with? Obviously, he's thrown to these receivers before. He's thrown them downfield perfectly, especially Lazard. He's thrown to Lazard many times. I was wondering when they're gonna start being incorporated into the game. Yeah, no, I agree. I think Rodgers definitely takes part of the blame in this. I am so sorry to hear that bird in the background. There's literally absolutely nothing I can do about that. Motherfucker just won't shut up.
Anyway, it's just I don't know.
I just think that
I mean, if it was like a
he's
point
done in Green Bay. I think he's done in Green Bay. He's got to be. There's no way. There's two things that come to mind when I think about this. When you're the head coach or the GM, you're like, okay, Rodgers really only scored 10 points here for us. Really? 10 points? After we sat there and gave you everything you wanted this year? We gave you Randall Cobb. We gave you Randall Cobb, Devontae Adams. You have Alan Lazard and all these other receivers, and you still can only score 10 points? I'm sorry. Even if you're the management team for the Packers, you're like, nope, I'm sorry, Rodgers. We tried to make this work. We tried to work it to Jordan's favor, and we couldn't even get past the divisional round.
So you think the management gets rid of him?
I think the management would not mind getting rid of him, but I also think that maybe I don't know. Like I think management might get rid of him. It just makes sense though, right?
I don't think management wants to get rid of him. I don't think it makes sense to get rid of him.
I don't think they will, but I could see there being that point from the management team saying like, okay, last year, you were upset because we didn't give you what you want. We give you what you want now, and you don't want to do shit with it. You can't even get us past the first fucking round.
Okay.
With the number one seed in the playoffs.
Yes, I understand that, but let's also, they easily could go draft a wide receiver in the first round. Let's be honest, Lazard is a good wide receiver 3. He's not really a great wide receiver 2. I think that they could go draft a guy, make him wide receiver 2, play him alongside Devontae Adams, give him an extra weapon. Let's be also another thing is his offensive line was not healthy. Like, they were tormented with injuries. Yes, I don't see how you can justify getting rid of the MVP as well as a top 3 quarterback in the NFL without him wanting to. If he wants to stay, he's staying. You can't get rid of him. I personally believe. I think you continue to build around him. I think if you're like, all right, you're going to commit for 5 years. Okay, fine. We're going to continue to build around you. Maybe you trade Jordan Love like we kind of talked about earlier in the year. Trade Jordan Love, get some picks for him because he's a high-value asset too. So a team that maybe can't get one of the quarterbacks that they want in the draft might have more interest in Jordan Love, especially because people say this quarterback class is weaker, right? Maybe they have interest in Jordan Love. Okay, we want Jordan Love. He sat behind Rodgers for 2 years. He learned. Now he can come here, come be our starter. Develop. We can see what we have with him without giving up a lot of pieces. Maybe Green Bay gets a couple more picks, and they build more around Rodgers. They can set themselves up. But I think they look pretty good defensively. I believe they can add some more pieces, of course, defensively, and they can add some pieces offensively. The problem is that they are struggling in the cap. That's their problem. They don't have a lot of money. They're actually negative in the cap right now, and Rodgers says he doesn't want to be part of a rebuild. If they can find a way to get rid of some money and keep majority of their team together, don't have to rebuild, and they can still compete for that 1 seed and still compete for Super Bowls, I think he'll stay. I think he'll want to stay or he'll retire. But I just don't see the management wanting to get rid of him. I just don't think that's logical. There's no way, right? There's no way.
I could see where I don't think they will, but I could see the management thinking that. I don't think they will say it or publicly say it or even say it to him, but I could see them thinking in their head like, "Are you serious? We gave you everything you wanted." That type of thing. But at the same time, listen to Aaron Rodgers after the game. I think he's gone. I think he's just. I don't know. I just don't see him being back there. I really don't. I think he wants to. I think his demeanor just was so different.
Yeah.
In these post conferences, and it just seemed like he was ready to move on to something completely new. Oh, you know what? Here's a perfect example. Like Tom Brady. Tom Brady moved on, went to a team that set him up, and won a championship and won the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers might have that same mindset. He's like, all right, let me go find a team that's willing to, that already have me set up. All they need is a quarterback. Let's say he goes to, for example, I know this would most likely not happen, but it would be pretty cool if he went to Tennessee. That's literally all you guys need is a fucking quarterback. You've got a running back. You've got receivers. You've got a fucking hell of a defense. Rodgers would probably thrive there. Not just that, Rodgers in the Titans uniform would be dope. Not just that, he'd be switching conferences. He'd be going to the AFC instead. Which I'm not sure exactly which one would be necessarily better, because if Tom Brady stays another year, you got Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford now. I guess the AFC would be kind of worse because you got Allen, Mahomes, now Joe Burrow. Herbert. Yeah, but you're in a division that you could easily win with Rodgers, is what I'm trying to say.
The only difference between the two is that Brady was a free agent. Rodgers isn't. He would have to be traded.
Wait, is he still in a contract?
Yeah,
this is his last year.
No, he is.
Oh, wow.
He is still in a contract. He has to be traded. That is a negative. I will say, though, let me not get back on Tennessee. Let me not. I'm just saying we could have had Tom Brady. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the Rams and Bucks game now. Devin, if you want to go do your piece, I need to run upstairs and do something. Devin, you got this Rams Bucks game. As a Bucks fan, I know that you're gonna do great.
All right. I don't even. So unfortunately, I was not able to watch this game in its entirety. I was unfortunately at work. However, let me tell you something. As a Bucks fan, and I did go rewatch the game, and it was so disappointing to see how this all broke down. It was honestly a game that was extremely winnable. We could have easily won this game if two things didn't happen. First of all, if whatever communication error happened at the beginning of the game with, I think it was Whitehead, and I can't remember which cornerback it was. I think it was Davis. I think Davis was trying to tell Whitehead to watch the top of him because Cooper, he was expecting Cooper Kupp to go on top, going for a deep route, and that's exactly what happened. And instead, Jordan Whitehead latched his, I don't remember which receiver he went on to, but he went on an entirely different receiver, leaving Cooper Kupp open. Cooper Kupp open, catches the ball, and runs for a touchdown. And that sets the tone for pretty much literally the next three quarters. The Rams stop us on defense. They continue to score. Next thing you know, halftime comes around. It's 20-3. And we still can't get anything going. Then third quarter comes. They score another touchdown. And then it just seems like we start finally getting something going. We scored 10 points. Then the fourth quarter comes, and now it's like, okay, now we really got to hurry up with this shit. Tom Brady doing his Tom Brady stuff. Sits there and scores 14 points. And then this is the part that gets me. And this is it's just like, as a Bucks fan, it aggravates me that at the very end of the game, when you have a receiver like Cooper Kupp, who had almost 2,000 yards this season, and you sit there and for some reason don't put back not 3 corners, just 3 defenders in the back to hold off any deep plays, blows my mind. And instead we're sitting there doing a blitz. Why in the living hell? Honestly, I don't think it takes a genius to realize you don't do that type of shit. It's just one of those. It's just in my head. It's like one of those plays you wish we could just take back and wish we could just do it over again. And sometimes a play which I wish I could be the coach for, because I would set 3 players back there. I think if we set 3 players back there, we stop Cooper Kupp, we go into overtime, and we win the game. So that's my thoughts on the Bucks game. I easily think we could have gone to the Super Bowl again.
That's tough.
Easily think.
Welcome to the club.
It was it annoys me because I honestly think we match up better against the 49ers than the Rams do. I think we would have blown out the 49ers. I don't think the Rams will. I think the Rams have a shot to lose. It's a divisional game. So this team plays you twice a year. This team has beat you the last 6 times. The last time they beat the Rams have beaten the 49ers was December of 2018. Y'all haven't beat them in almost 3 to 4 years. I think the Bucks would have smashed the 49ers. smashed the 49ers. I think our I'm not saying the Rams don't have a good defensive line. I think they have a great one, but like I said, when do the 49ers and the Bucks play? They don't play as nearly as often as the Rams and the 49ers do. So, and as I was saying before, Dustin, I think this game was so I think we're the better team. I think we're the better team than the Rams.
Damn.
I just think obviously did too much in too little time. Actually, no, I take that back. I think it was just an extremely bad call at the very end of the game. I think personally you put 3 guys deep. I don't know why in God's name you would blitz. You put 3 guys deep. You make sure that the 3 receivers that you obviously know can go deep, make sure they don't go deep. And if they are, make sure that they're covered. And you literally push the game into overtime. And I don't care who gets the ball first. Tampa Bay is winning because at that point, we held the Rams to 0 points in the fourth quarter. Our defense was playing out of its fucking mind. Our offense was playing out of its... What do you mean 3 points?
3 points in the fourth quarter. Oh, well, sorry. You're right.
I'm saying
Yeah. I forgot about the field goal. You're right.
I think if you put three men back, I think the game easily goes into overtime.
I don't agree.
What?
Devin, who was guarding the sideline? Because you said you're putting 3 men deep when you're blitzing. Who's guarding the sideline?
No. What I'm saying, I don't agree with blitzing. I absolutely do not agree with blitzing at all.
Oh, so you play soft coverage?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
no,
like the Bills?
Like what I would do personally is you would the corners play the sidelines. You put how would you do this? I would have the linebackers play maybe around the 8 to 10 yard line. Nah, let's go 6 to 8 yard line. So for any of those short routes that Cooper Kupp is known for, you make sure those don't go anywhere. Then you put the rest of the defenders in the back, and then you just run your 3 or 4 defensive line.
I think. I don't know. I think it's
I think it'll be just enough to make sure they don't get into field goal range, so that you push the game into overtime.
I think it was actually a good play call. I actually like it.
I don't like it at all. That was such a stupid play call.
Mainly because not everyone did the right thing.
Yes, and which I've heard, but I don't understand why you blitz.
Because, well, that's the thing.
With the receivers that they have. That's my thing. If it was the 49ers, I could understand why you would blitz. They have weapons, but they don't have no Odell. They don't have no Cooper Kupp, and they might have a Van Jefferson and Brandon Ayuk, who actually Brandon Ayuk might arguably be better. But when you have elite receivers like that, you've came back this far into the game. I think you try to play close as you possibly can to prevent, without playing prevent.
I will say though that another reason why I like it is because the Rams were just doing exactly what every other team would do in the fourth quarter. They were trying to run the football and take the time off. I thought it was pretty obvious. They were not stretching the field like they were. Like I said, I like it because you were literally 0.5 seconds away from a sack or a cause for a bad throw. It was literally a perfect throw with a defender in his face. And if everyone blitzes correctly, which it was Levante David, I saw the clip. If Levante David does blitz correctly, then you might have a sack. Or you might have a caused bad throw because he had a guy literally in his lap. But I think
that's too much to risk, in my opinion.
I just think that it's crazy to me that a guy got open on that route and it was a perfect throw with a guy in his face. Like, that is... I think people need to give more credit to how great that throw was. Like, it was a crazy throw with, like I said, a guy in his face, man-to-man coverage, threw it up, and just perfect. It was a perfect throw in the perfect situation. I think there was just a lot of, he has to do this, has to do this, and he just so happened to do that, and do that. Like, if that's an incomplete, no one's going to talk about the play call. You know what I mean? And that's why I like it, because it was literally, it had to be a perfect throw with the perfect route, the perfect timing, all 3 scenarios, which the defense is in his face, and it just so happened to go that way. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I kind of like it. But I mean, I guess you could see people say, no, don't like it, whatever. But I felt okay with it. You know, it was a good game. The fact that the Bucks came back is crazy.
Yeah, that just shows you how like great Tom Brady. Like, I don't care what anybody says. You can make fun of Tom Brady as much as you want for losing that game, but I mean, I don't think there's a quarterback in the league that could have done what he did. There's no fucking way.
Pretty crazy.
He just like even it's crazy because even though he lost, he just continues to solidify his legacy. I mean, it's been solidified a long time ago, but it just adds on to it. It's like, okay, yeah, he lost his game, but look at where he fucking brought him back to. It was almost a whole Patriots Super Bowl again. Yeah. Bro, that would have been crazy. Everybody would have went fucking wild if the Bucks came back.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It is pretty crazy. It was a great game. I think, yeah, we'll talk about matchups for next games later. But yeah, I thought it was a great game. Crazy enough, the second best game of the weekend. Only the second best.
Yeah, which is wild.
Yeah, and this next game
fucking wild.
Was the best one easily. Chiefs host the Bills. Wow, what a game!
I don't know how the Bills let that shit up. Literally thought 13 seconds left. I was like, the Chiefs are not gonna win.
And the opposite of what you guys did caused a lot of pressure, hurt them because they just played super soft coverage, and Chiefs are just. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, I mean, I see why they did. Then again, I'm pretty sure there was some missed tackles on Tyreek Hill. I think there was.
I'm pretty. He got not that one. The one where he went all the way to the house. That was missed tackle. Yeah, but the one that was on the 13-second drive where they did actually do the soft coverage.
Mm-hmm.
That was just because Travis Kelce was right in front of him blocking for him.
That's right.
And then Travis Kelce had the wide open seam because they were just playing soft zone.
Yeah, that's true. I remember that one.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like 50-50. Like, they both, at the end of the day, lost. But that's just great quarterback play. Which one? And that's why when I go back and think about it, I'm like, which one required the most things to happen for the offense to have a chance? And I'm like, Rams. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was literally a 2-yard pass from Mahomes, and then his players, Tyreek Hill goes for 15 or whatever, and then he throws like a 10-yard or 15-yard seam route to Travis Kelce, which was wide open, and Travis Kelce literally goes down as soon as the defender gets close, just with them to still have 4 seconds to kick an easy field goal. In comparison, Stafford has to throw, like I said, has to be a perfect throw because there's a guy in his face. It has to be perfect blocking, you know what I mean? Because it has to give him a chance at least. There has to be a perfect throw with a guy in his face, with the perfect route by Cooper Kupp, with the perfect timing in between both of them for that to even work. You know what I'm saying? With time still off the clock to be able to run the field and clock it. That's my only thought. That's the only process you can have. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, okay, I see. Like, that's why you go with the just make it as hard as you possibly can. But
yeah, I just
I don't know.
Like, going back to the Bills Chiefs games real quick. I just can't believe. Yeah. It's like I'm in disbelief that the Bills did not win that game. I once they scored that touchdown, I was like, it's over. There's no way the Chiefs can come back in 13 seconds, and they do exactly that. I was like, oh my fucking god, no way.
And I mean,
oh my god, bro.
As a Titans fan, it's scary. Sitting there watching that game, it is scary to watch that because you're looking at like. These two motherfuckers are going to go back to back to back to back to back to back to back. They're just going to play each other every fucking year. Where if it's in the divisional, the wild card, which it won't be the wild card, but divisional or conference championship game, those guys you're going to constantly see those guys every year. Like
every freaking year. And not just that. Honestly, I think the Bengals are going to be added to the mix very soon.
You're going to see Herbert, Burrow.
Oh my god, I forgot about Herbert in that offense. Oh my god, if they can get him some more receivers, that team needs a defense though to begin with.
I mean,
oh my god.
I mean, if you're just looking at quarterbacks, like people are gonna want to play for those quarterbacks. You know what I mean? They're always gonna be tough competition. I mean, now you have like the likes of Trevor Lawrence, coming out of college. if he gets a coaching staff and can build some pieces around him, he could be dangerous. Mac Jones, of course. Zach Wilson looked good at the end of the year. Like, there's so many young, talented quarterbacks in the AFC right now. You don't know where Deshaun Watson's going.
A healthy Ravens team.
Yeah, healthy Ravens. You're looking at the Colts, who, they're looking to. You possibly could see a new quarterback instead of Wentz. Like, there is so much talent in the AFC.
And it keeps growing because, remember, in the Denver Broncos, Javonte Williams, who just started to look
that's
like
the likely spot for Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Denver is the likely spot.
Cortland Sutton, KJ Hamler.
Let's not forget Derek Carr.
Oh, yes.
Pittsburgh's going to get going again. They have a great coaching staff. They're going to get going again. They're going to get a new quarterback in there. They're going to get Pittsburgh's a team to look out for. Cleveland, Cleveland has a great roster. They need some quarterback help, but they have a great roster. I mean,
yeah, I think the AFC is going to be a lot more scary than the NFC, because the NFC, Saints just lost their head coach. The Cowboys, they're the Cowboys, so they don't really count.
Packers might lose Rodgers. Wilson might leave. Fuck, who the fuck? What's Wilson going to?
Jimmy G could be traded.
Jimmy G, because Trey Lance is going to play next year for them. We know that. You're not going to take the third overall pick with the quarterback and not use Trey Lance. Trey Lance is playing. Where's Jimmy Garoppolo going to go?
I think Cam Newton's played his last snap with the Panthers.
There's been rumblings about Kirk Cousins maybe. Matt Ryan's leaving soon. I mean, he's getting up there.
Justin Fields, who's still young, so he still needs time to develop.
Yeah, I mean, that's someone to look forward to in the future.
Jared Goff, I'm not really sure what
Detroit's going to continue to build their team. Jared Goff's not the future for them, obviously. Eventually, they're going to get their quarterback. Who knows when? But Goff obviously isn't the dude. I mean,
I think he's just a bridge quarterback right now.
Yeah, he is. But there's so much talent in the AFC, and there's quarterbacks in the NFC that are looking to move, that are looking at the AFC. Russell Wilson's there's been rumblings about Russell Wilson to Tennessee. There's been rumblings to Indianapolis. Denver, of course, is looking for all the quarterbacks.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there is people everywhere. So we could see a crazy. I mean, the AFC is very stacked, but the NFC could look very different in a couple of years. So yeah, as a Titans fan, it's crazy to see these two. Like, these two look like the top of the AFC right now, and you just look at it and you're like, man, you got to have an elite quarterback these days. You got to have a top quarterback to be able to, because you're not going to be able to put some bum at quarterback and make it all the way against Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. It's just not going to happen,
Like, what I like at the NFC right now, you think about maybe 4 teams that could consistently keep coming back to the NFC, not the NFC Championship necessarily, but the playoffs. That would be the Arizona Cardinals with Kyler Murray.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucks if Tom Brady stays another year. And Rodgers and the Packers if he stays in Green Bay. But 2 out of the 4 of those are questionable.
Yep.
Exactly. So so what's really going to happen here? I think Tom Brady will play 1 more year, but I think that's going to be his last year, because he's still under contract. But I'm pretty sure if he retires, he fucking retires. He's done enough in his career already.
Yeah.
But I think he might play 1 more year. Gronk comes back, obviously, if Brady comes back, and they take 1 more shot at the title. Honestly, if I'm Brady, I would, especially with Sean Payton gone, bro. Oh my god.
It's true.
Yo,
he also might not like the Rams, though.
Saints? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, those games were. These games were crazy this week. The great games. This game, the final end of that game was just shocking.
Wow. Real quick on that, do you think the overtime rules should be changed?
I heard that the NFL rules were denied by other teams and players a couple years ago, so no.
But actually, Andy Reid recently mentioned the same thing again, actually, believe it or not.
Yeah, well, the Chiefs were the one that brought it up 2 years ago.
Yeah, but he mentioned it.
And guess who turned it down?
Who?
The Buffalo Bills. Karma's a bitch.
They might reconsider after this game.
Well, yeah, but people are also saying that players are scared of risking injury because of the extra longer games. Like, their stamina they're already tired. Now they're going to have to play even more overtimes, and who knows how far they actually go, because those teams don't have the depths as college teams. Think about it, college teams have whole bunch of players. They can consistently rotate. NFL, you can't. You can only have 53. You know what I mean? And that's if there's injuries like on defensive line, you cannot guarantee that you have enough defensive line. You know what I mean? Like, I could see their point. And if teams say no to it and the Players Association says no to it, then I think there's no reason for us fans to sit there and say they need to.
I think what they need to do is maybe not necessarily change the regular season OT, but change the playoff OT.
That's possible. But I heard that too, and then someone said that how do you expect a team to prepare for those situations? Like, the regular season is almost like compete for the playoffs, but also if you're like a playoff team, this is supposed to get you ready for playoffs. Like, you're playing tough competition, you're doing like the things, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be crazy to switch the rules up during the time of year. It'd be like having different rules from the preseason than the regular season. Like, you can't hit in the preseason to then hitting in the, you know what I mean? Which I guess I do understand. I guess I do see the point. But like I said, as long as the Players Association and the NFL teams are not saying it, I don't think that we should be like, oh, this needs to be switched. Yes, for the entertainment-wise, sure, of course. But you can go do that on Madden if you want.
Well, I don't think even necessarily entertainment-wise. Like, I just think, like, each team needs a fair chance one way or another. Like I said, I think, like, whoever wins that toss obviously wins the game. Because, you know, both offenses were extremely hot, and none of the defenses could stop the other team.
But isn't that the point?
So, like, what's that?
Shouldn't the defense have stopped him with 13 seconds left?
I mean, yes, true, but, like...
It's not like just randomly luck... Like, it's not like the game starts and it's a flip of a coin, and the flip of the coin dictates the whole game.
But that's kind of what it feels like. And that's what happens a lot of the times, though. And, like, here's
you have to do stuff to get to overtime.
I mean, yes, that's true, but, like, I feel like... Look, both teams failed to stop the other team respectively. How? I mean, you can even look at the Chiefs. Like, okay, why did you let the Bills score? You know, you obviously vice versa. Well, Bills, why did you let the Chiefs score?
Yeah, but it's not like it's not like, oh, we lost the game because of the coin toss. That's what led to the final of it. Yes, like you lost the game because of coin toss, but also it's not like the coin toss guarantees they score.
I mean, you're technically right, but let's be real here.
But if the teams are voting for it to not come back, like are voting for it to stay, and the Player Association is voting it to stay as it is, what gives us as fans to say, "Oh, that's not fair. Let's go after the NFL and make them change the rules"? At the end of the day, they're the ones that are playing it.
Let's be real. Josh Allen, even though he doesn't want to admit it, or maybe he has even indirectly hinted at it, would like the OT rules to be changed. The Chiefs organization, many players from the Chiefs organization, has been openly talking about the overtime rules and how they should be changed.
And it still got denied.
Examples. And I don't agree with that, honestly.
But it wasn't denied by the NFL. It was denied by those guys that are like the Players Association.
Okay. Are you talking about 2 years ago? Or are you talking about this year?
It's been denied both years, back to back.
This year as well.
They haven't had this year's meeting.
Well, I think this year it definitely is a...
It's been like this every time.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Something's got to change. I just don't think it's fair for one team to sit there and get the ball and the other team to never touch the ball at all.
I think...
Because the other team scored. I don't think that's fair at all.
I just think injuries are... they don't even get paid for overtime. You don't get paid for overtime, higher risk for injury, you don't have as much substitutes, and there's not enough room for substitutes because you have to win the game.
See, but that's the thing. With college, there was one game that went into 9 overtimes.
Yeah, and you only drive from the 20-yard line, and they also have, like, 90 players on roster in comparison to 53.
I mean, which is true. Like, I think it would be... Like I said, I think the rules need to be changed. I just don't know how the rules can be changed, if it makes sense. To where the point where, like, you don't keep the players too long extra on the field, but you keep them on the field extra long enough to where both teams have a fair opportunity to score. You know? Like I said, someone would just need to have to come up with a really good overtime plan, because I think the one right now needs to be changed. I just think literally teams are winning based on whether or not you call heads or tails. And with the way the Chiefs and the Bills games were going, that's exactly how it was. whichever team was going to get the ball was the team that was going to win, just because both offenses were fucking on fire and could not be stopped.
Okay.
But let's move on to the conference championship games.
You want to talk about this game, or you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. This game is interesting to me. They played a couple weeks ago. They played week 17, I believe.
No, I think it was later than that.
No, it was 17.
Week 13.
No.
Week 13? What, Bills and...
No.
Wait, yeah, you're going crazy.
No, Bengals Chiefs, week 17.
They played all starters?
Yeah, week 8. Remember, there's 18 weeks.
Oh, shit, that's right. You're right. I remember. Okay.
Yes.
I was like, wait a second.
They played week 17. The Bengals did win in Cincinnati. This game is now in Kansas City. I have Kansas City winning. I think... Kansas City's looking good offensively. And I think that at the end of the day, I think Andy Reid is a better coach than Zach Taylor. I think he's going to make adjustments. I don't think he's going to let Jamar Chase do what he did. I think that I would take a look at Tennessee. I would take a look at what Tennessee did. Because Tennessee obviously didn't let up a lot of big plays, and they got a lot of pressure. And their defensive line of Kansas City's defense is very capable of doing that. Chris Jones is very capable. Melvin Ingram, very capable. Frank Clark is also very capable. Jerron Reed, very capable to rush the passer. So I think, yeah, they're not going to get 9 sacks. But they can have a good game rushing the passer. I think they can disrupt Burrow. They don't allow anything deep. I think they go to a little bit of a zone look instead of more man-to-man. And I think that gives them a good opportunity. The offense is hot. Mahomes is playing his best ball right now, and they're healthy. You know, they got Clyde Edwards-Helaire back. Jerick McKinnon's starting to get really comfortable in the offense. They've added some plays for him to look good. I like Kansas City at home. Arrowhead is a very tough place to play. It is very loud. Josh Allen talked about that, how loud it was. And at the end of the day, I look at it. I think the Bills roster is better than the Bengals. I thought it was better than the Chiefs as well, and the Chiefs still won. So I'm gonna take the Chiefs by 7. High scoring.
You know, as much like I am highly tempted to say the Chiefs. I am extremely tempted to say the Chiefs here.
But
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if I want to say but. I really don't know, because it's like,
wait.
You look at the Chiefs. The Chiefs are playing, I think, the greatest football they have all year.
Oh yeah.
But then you look at the Bengals, and they're also playing the greatest football they have all year. And it's just like, literally, I think every single game that I have predicted has literally been wrong. Literally has been wrong, except for one game, and that was the Bucs week 1.
Yeah.
I have predicted every other game wrong so far. And
so choose the Bengals so the Chiefs win, because I want to be right.
But I don't want to sit there and choose the Bengals. Choose the Chiefs, because the Chiefs are going to lose and the Bengals are going to win, which I want. But then I have a feeling if I choose the Bengals are going to win this time. Man, give me the Bengals. Give me the fucking Bengals. Give me the Bengals. I just can't. I can't. I freaking can't. I thought the Bengals were going to lose last week. I thought they were going to lose the first week. Man, this is hard. This is hard because I'm not a fan of both. I'm not a fan of either secondaries. But I think it's going to be another offensive game.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think?
Damn. I understand the Chiefs have a better offense. They do.
Okay, so you're going to take the Bengals, right?
Yes, but I take. Look, there's some magic going.
Just take the Bengals. Take the Bengals. Trust them. Trust yourself. Bengals.
Yeah. Big trust. Joe Burrow.
Okay. All right. Bengals by what?
Bengals by 3. Stevenson. I think that's his name. Stevenson is gonna call it again. He's gonna sit there like a Joe Burrow, and be like, "We're going to the Super Bowl."
Oh, you're talking about McPherson? Oh, the kicker. McPherson. Okay. Yeah,
he's gonna sit there, look back at Joe Burrow and Zach Taylor, be like, "We're going to the Super Bowl."
This man,
and he's gonna hit a 60-yarder.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna go big.
All right. So we different about that
Bengals.
one. I like that.
Bengals.
Next, 49ers, Rams.
Man, I thought the Bengals and Chiefs was hard to choose. This one's even harder.
I'll go first. No, let me go first. Because as soon as I say this, you're gonna agree. You're gonna choose exactly what I choose. You ready?
The Rams.
Listen, this is exactly like the Saints and the Bucks rivalry. Saints win in the regular season. They meet the Bucks in the playoffs, and the Bucks win because ultimately in the playoffs the better teams win the better games. So I'm looking at the Rams and 49ers. All right, choose the better team because the better team's gonna win better games. The Rams are the better team, better defense. Their offense is hot right now. They're looking great. Odell's starting to get comfortable in the system. You can see it. He's glowing. He's shining, baby. Cam Akers come back looking hot. Van Jefferson's a deep threat beast. And you already know Cooper Kupp is coming. I'm taking the Rams by 10. Rams by 10.
Holy. I don't know about that.
You didn't like my Bucks and Saints analogy? You don't like that comparison?
No, I don't. I really don't. Here's my problem with this game. The 49ers have beat them the last 6 times.
What was the last time the Bucks beat the Saints outside the playoffs? That's what I thought.
Hey, listen.
Comparison, baby.
You mentioned the better team would win, but the Packers were the better team last week, right?
But
evidently they were the better team.
Packers are AKA chokers, so.
But when you look at the teams, though, right?
I'm not saying better teams always win. I'm saying in rivalries, when you look at like divisional guys and, like, oh, this team beats them like this. Okay, but in the playoffs, if they meet again, I think the better team wins. Look at Seattle and the Rams last year. Seattle, I believe, won in the regular season, and then lost the playoffs.
Look. It's hard for me to choose a game here. Choose as a game. I think the Rams should most definitely win, and I think the Rams should win by 7 points.
Nah, 14. Oh, no, 10. I said for 10. Yeah, 10.
This man. I think the Rams should win. I definitely think the Rams should win. But I am not counting the 49ers out. Honestly, like, who was the first game? Their first game was against the Cowboys.
In the playoffs or regular season?
Playoffs.
Oh, yeah, Cowboys.
I had the Cowboys winning.
Oh, I didn't.
I'm not sure about you.
I had 49ers.
Well, I had the Cowboys winning, but I was hoping for a 49ers upset, and it happened. Then they won. Then they went to Lambeau Field. I had the same thing happening. I was hoping they would win, even though I honestly thought it was even less likely this time.
Do it
against the Packers at home.
Do it.
They beat Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
I know what you want to do. Just do it. Just do it. Rip the Band-Aid off. Do it.
This one's harder than the
Bengals and the Chiefs. Do it. Drum roll, please.
Hold on, stay right there.
Oh,
I'm gonna get it.
Okay, let's. Okay, drum roll now.
All right. I'm gonna come back. All right, you ready? Go Bucks. We're going to the Super Bowl.
All right, guys, that's the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Wait, we're not in the playoffs? What?
If you don't see Devin next week, it's because he is in.
I'm gonna be the only one in Raymond James Stadium. Where's the Niners at?
He's currently in rehab because he's having hallucinations.
Wait, we didn't score 30? What?
Okay, who you got? Before I boot your ass out.
Fuck, man.
You did all that, you still don't know who you're gonna pick?
I literally don't know. I can't pick this game. I can't.
Okay, pick the 49ers so we have a different opinion.
Okay, you know what? No. I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Boo.
But I would not be surprised if the 49ers win a third time.
Boo.
Like the Rams should realistically win this game. But the 49ers, I don't know what type of magic they are having there. I have no idea, man. The Rams should win. But don't be surprised if the 49ers win.
Okay. So those are our picks. Nope, you're done.
Nope. I've decided. I have changed my mind. Look, I am not going against them. I am not going against them like I did the Bengals. I literally went against the Bengals the entire time. I went against the 49ers against the 49ers the entire time. I'm going the 49ers, baby. Let's fucking go.
Oh, thank you. We have different picks now, so someone's going to come back 2-0, and it'll probably be
Bang, Niner gang. Bang,
No. I'll be 2-0 after this week.
Bang, Niner gang.
This episode has been very fun. It's been a good episode. It's been a sad episode.
Hold on, can I say something real quick?
Should I even let
you? Bang, Niner gang. Let's go, baby.
Okay.
Go Niners.
Yep, and you're muted. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed.
Niners Bengals Super Bowl.
Jesus. It was a good episode. Of course, let us know what you guys want to see down below, like some off-season stuff. And stuff like that. Make sure to check out all of our socials down in the description. Like, comment, subscribe, do all those good things.
One more thing before you go off.
Okay.
Remember to check out our TikTok this week.
Yep.
We have another betting video coming out.
Yep.
If you guys not see our previous one, go check it. Actually, one of our bets did in fact hit.
Yep.
And we are going to be creating another video this week about it. So if you're a bettor and you want to know what we think is gonna, hit, by all means, by all means, go on a TikTok and
check it out for sure.
Check it out. To put in perspective here, I'm not saying we're the best bettors. I mean, we obviously knew Dustin wasn't in the wild card round. I've won $200 in the first wild card round, $30 in the divisional round. How much are we winning in this conference championship? How much do you think?
Well, the way that your picks went today, you're probably winning 0.
Get a load of this guy over here, Mr. Pessimistic.
Well, you made me mad. No. So
just make sure you go on the TikTok. Make sure you look at my picks. Just my picks.
If you want to lose. Anyway, that's the end of the video.
Together, boys.
Like I said, go check out the TikTok, do all that good stuff. It's been the boys, Dustin and Devin. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.
Bang, Niner gang.